What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of Masterpiece Unscripted. This is for all of my sport heads. This is where we talk sports, entertainment, drama, man, you name it. That's what we talk about. So I am so happy that this is the very first episode. So you make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe because this is only the first of many more to come. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Know what? Y'all come on, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get it going. Y'all ready? I'm gonna have a special guest with me today too. So we gonna really talk about some good stuff. Y'all get ready. Y'all know what time it is. Talk back or fall back. Class is in session. Let's go.
Masterpiece unscripted, vibe so lifted, mic stay hot and the culture gifted. Talking real talk, no script, no gimmicks, where the culture talks back. Yeah, we in it.
What's up, y'all? So look, man, episode 1, Masterpiece Unscripted is officially here. Like I said, I can assure y'all this is going to be the first of many more. I'm going to introduce my co-host along with me, Mr. Isaiah Pace. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, man?
What's up, my brother? Can't complain, man. Go ahead and let the folks know who you are, where you from, all that fun, good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm Isaiah, aka Coach Pace, and I from Florida, North Florida. Been coaching basketball for about 14 years on various levels, high school, college, some pro and some semi-pro. So yeah, I'm excited to contribute to the conversation today.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. So look, this is the place where we talk about it all: sports, entertainment, drama, man. You name it, that's what we do. So we starting off, Isaiah, man. We starting off with the association, the NBA Association. Obviously, we in the playoffs, man. And in case you missed the last night's game, it's funny because I actually had to call you. It was like, yo, this is the game of the playoffs. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I had actually turned the game off during overtime because I was like, I kind of got upset. I'm like, man, doggone Pacers done blew it. They were down like 7 points. And then I'm watching TNT and I hear Charles Barkley's like, yo, that's crazy. So I turned back to the game and realized that the Pacers were only down 1 point. And of course, the Bucks done blew the game. So, man, so check it out. So we're going to start it off, man. Who's the daddy of the Bucks? Obviously, there was some drama going along with it. Giannis and Tyrese Haliburton's dad. So we're going to check out the clip, and then we're going to discuss what happened, all right?
What all did you see transpire? What all kind of went down there, and basically what happened?
Yeah, I mean, after we won, I kind of blacked out a little bit. I don't really remember a ton. Then all the guys grabbed me in my head. As far as the incident between Giannis and my pops, I had no idea it happened until I got to the back and was showed the video.
All right.
Me and my pops have talked about that, and I don't agree with what transpired there from him. I think basketball is basketball, and let's keep it on the court. And I think that he just got it.
All right, so check it out, man. We got some lagging issues with that video, but until I get it fixed, we're gonna go ahead on and just start. So in a nutshell, what do you think about what happened with Haliburton's dad? Do you think he was out of pocket, or do you think he was just being a dad, and he was just excited? What do you think about that?
So for me, I really wasn't even watching the game because I was like, this series is over. It's like, what is it? It was 3-0, right?
3-1.
3-1 before they was going in. So Dame is hurt. Like, I'm like, hey, let me spend this time watching the Clippers game, praying that they'll come back in their game. So when you called me, when you called me and let me know, I was like, whoa. So I had to kind of, get up to speed on what happened. And so essentially, in my opinion, I just feel like the easiest thing would have been for the Bucks to just hold the ball because they passed it like 2 times up the court, and then Gary Trent Jr. literally did like a whoops moment where it went between his legs, like he got nutmegged by a pass. Yep. So I mean, they could have just held the ball and just kind of got fouled. As far as with the beef that happened, I had to because you know how something goes viral and you see the last thing that happens. So I had to kind of get up to speed on okay, what happened? What exactly happened between Tyrese Haliburton's dad? And so literally after the game, when Tyrese is standing on the table talking about, you know how they, this is our house, whatever.
You went to Patrick Beverly vibe.
Dad comes with this huge towel. It's like this huge beach towel.
All right.
with Tyrese's face on it. He was like, yeah, blankety blank, take that, And Giannis is looking at him like, what in the world? Because he's, when you lose a series or lose a game, he's still trying to process what happened. And so before he can finish processing, he has this huge beach towel in his face, and his dad is just talking smack.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think he had a chance to, address it. So his teammate came, Pat Connaughton came, to kind of, get him under wraps or whatever before he could even respond. So it just happened that when he was leaving off of dapping everybody up and the other team or whatever, he saw his dad again. And so he ran up to his dad, and he was, after he had time to process, and he was like, yeah, this dude owed me something. So, owe me a fade or whatever. So he was literally like he was going to headbutt him or whatever. So, I mean, overall, I feel like, that it happens in sports, but I feel like it kind of went a little bit too far. Like, his dad shouldn't have been on the court. Like, you can't, even regular fans.
That's what he do. That's what everybody's saying. His dad's always on the court. And if you watch the Pacers game, he's always on the court. He dapped his son up. But I do agree. He was kind of far out there on the court, like literally.
He's at the free throw line. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's at the free throw line with this huge beach towel with his son's face on it. Like, it's just like, that's doing way too much. Like, and I think that he might ruin it for everybody else. Because Ja Morant dad be on the court, right?
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of their,
that's not the first incident we done saw. I think Ja Morant dad got into it with Shannon Sharp before.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I feel like he went too far with that, with the dad.
Okay. Obviously, emotions high. I mean, you see Tyrese Haliburton, which I'm kind of like, come on, dude, you're giving me Patrick Beverly vibes. Remember when the Timberwolves made it out to play into the playoffs, and then they got their butts smoked. So I'm kind of like, you jumping on so the energy was already high. So emotions already high. And I'm thinking maybe, that's just, hey, his daddy's feeling off them emotions. Right?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. But still, even if he's feeling off the emotions, it's like you're in Giannis's face. Giannis is like huge.
Big guy.
And a lot of times the cameras don't really do justice how large these athletes are.
Right.
And so when he was literally sizing them, in his face with his, head to head, like they were going to headbutt, literally, I was like, dang, Giannis is like, oh my God, he's huge, even bigger than, the little, filters and stuff that they, they can put on from HDTV and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, after
we got this video now,
I kind of blacked out a little bit. I don't really remember a ton. Then all the guys grabbed me in my head. As far as the incident between Giannis and my pops, I had no idea it happened until I got to the back and was showed the video. Me and my pops have talked about that, and I don't agree with what transpired there from him. I think basketball is basketball, and let's keep it on the court. And I think that he just got excited, saw his son make a game winner, and came on the court. But I think we had a conversation, and I think he just needs to just allow me to just play basketball, stay over there. I'll come to him to celebrate. But I think just the emotions of the game just got excited there. But I talked with him. I'll talk with Giannis eventually about it. Just I don't think that my pops was in the right at all there, and unfortunate what happened in the end there. But I mean, this series was a lot of war of words, a lot of war of antics, a lot of stuff going back and forth, and that's just part of this rivalry and what we've built here over the last couple of years. And it's unfortunate what happened there, but I think it's just competition. And as far as my pops, again, I don't agree what happened there. We'll have a conversation. Everybody's grown men, and we'll just go from there.
Man, listen. Here's my whole situation. I get it. You know what I'm saying? He's a fan, but he's not just the average fan. At the end of the day, he don't have the same we don't have the same privileges as him. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's why the security guards didn't do nothing to him and all of that. Now, Tyrese just came out and he's apologized for his dad's behavior. But this is something I don't like. You know, if it would have been my daddy, I would have been like, yeah, he did what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my dad would have talked. I would have said, hey, Pops, you know what I'm saying? You know, just look out for me. You know, don't be doing that. It don't look good. But let's not act like the Pacers. This is what I like about the league right now. The Pacers and the Bucks is a real rivalry. Come on, you remember seeing Dame on the sideline telling him, wait till I get back. I guess after game 2, game 3 comes, he only scores like 6 points. Game 4, tears his Achilles. You see, God don't like ugly. But listen, but the fact is they are, I mean, it's a rivalry. So daddy knows it's a rivalry. Tyrese be talking smack. He said it's a war of words. Nah, they want to fight. Like you could tell. So like keep that energy. Okay, he apologized, but come on, man. Let's keep that energy.
In recent years, it's been a rivalry because they played each other in the last couple of years, and
the Pacers done beat them all those years.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I don't remember what they were doing when the year that Giannis won the championship. You know, I don't know if they were babies back then or whatever, but in recent years, it's a rivalry. But I mean, but to Giannis's credit, he's never had a full crew when they played them. Like Middleton was hurt, right? Middleton had been hurt. That's why they traded him, right? Then they got Dame, and then you got Kuzma, who's probably going to be in.
Kuzma is trash.
Kuzma
is trash. That's that Laker trash we had. I'm glad we got rid of him.
He's probably going to be playing for the Shanghai Sharks next year. I mean, that was just crazy.
Yeah,
so, you know what's funny about the game, though? If you look at the box score, like as much as you know, everybody gets on Doc Rivers, and rightfully so, he loses the most 3-1 playoff series in NBA history. He did shake up the lineup, and he put Kuzma and Lopez. They were coming off the bench, so and pretty much that gave them a good chance to win, which is why they were actually winning because they had the right personnel, young legs, you know, guys who can kind of get their own. You know, Kevin Porter Jr. and the other kid that's out there. Like, I mean, I think it's AJ something. I forgot his name. He's from like up north or Midwest or something. But yeah, they were balling. So. I mean, it's of course a terrible, you know, mistake in him, you know, dropping that pass, you know, Gary Trent Jr. But I mean, I think too, it's kind of cool because you know everybody's been like in the regular season, all this NBA soft. So now we're kind of getting some competitive juices, and so it's like you know our soap opera for men. You get what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I think at this point it's like whatever happened, but I feel like the league will be forced to, put something out. And, even though he is, a dad, Tyrese Haliburton's dad, they're going to be forced to put something out and kind of say, hey, we don't want anything to escalate in the future.
That's true.
If you're a fan or if you're somebody's family, if you're not a player, you can't be on the court and stuff like that.
And that's true. Now, let's see what Charles and Shaq and all the rest of them boys had to say about that too. All right.
Talk to him. It don't
He's
matter.
not supposed to be on the court.
Giannis talked to him. Forget all that.
No, he was on the court.
So what?
You think he said something? He probably know who his dad is.
Stop it. Giannis said something to him.
No, because he's on the court in his face.
So what? Everybody on the court.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No, you
Everybody
cannot do that.
Giannis said something to him.
So you think his dad was
great?
No, his dad was 100% wrong.
Giannis is wrong? Bro, Giannis said something to him.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he not.
Look, right there.
No, his dad is coming up to him. What is his dad doing on the court? His dad is not supposed to be on the court. You can yell as much as you want to. He's an idiot. If you think that's right, you're an idiot too.
Giannis said something.
No, that's not true.
You know what's funny is Charles, or not Charles, but Shaq, he don't even know the full story.
I know.
Yeah,
he was only going up to that one clip because that was circling around. Because he was near all the cameras and stuff.
But yeah, I mean, I do agree. Now had the daddy been over there on the sideline and Giannis came to him and said something, I mean, that would have been a horse of another color. If you ask me, that would have been a horse of another color. So obviously parents will still be able to sit, literally on the sideline. So it won't be that much of a difference, I don't think. But I think it will be a difference as far as, like you say, parents being able to come on the court. I don't think that'll be able to happen because if Giannis would have hit him, well, that would have been all bad for the NBA. And Adam Silver, he don't want that. He don't want that look. He don't want that look. So, all right. So something happened last night. the Detroit Pistons came in the Garden and they beat the New York Knicks. And you've seen Jalen Brunson. He keeps retweaking that ankle. Now I know you think that. Now, you know what? I still believe that the Knicks are going to lose this series. Hold on, did I lose Isaiah? I think I lost him. Let me try to get him back in here. I think we lost him for a second. So the Knicks have came back and they won, or I'm sorry, they lost against the Pistons. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Some of my issues with the league. Now I know we got some Knicks fans, but my whole thing is this series should not be what it is. That's right. It honestly should have been 3-2 Detroit, because first off, and that's what was it, game 3, the bogus game 2 and 3, Jalen Brunson backcourt should have been called. The foul on Tim Hardaway in game 3, that should have been called. You know, so man, it was just horrible how they I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This is why I don't I don't like betting on games, because at the end of the day, it's out of my out of my control. And it seemed like it's out of the players' controls. How is me and one of my friends used to always say, these officials need to be held accountable. How is it so possible that you miss these calls? I think I got you back. How is it so possible that these officials, so we talking about some of that bad officiating in this New York Knicks and Detroit Pistons series. And like I was saying, I believe had the officiating been better, the Detroit Pistons would be up 3-2. That's really what I believe. Game 2 should have been a call on Jalen Brunson. Game 3, Tim Hardaway clearly was fouled.
So here's how I see it, man. Because I mean, the call at the end of what was it, game when he was shooting a 3? Was that game 3 or game 3? All right. So even though that call was bad, there were still other plays before that where they did not capitalize at. So as coaches, we don't just look at that one play, because if you had to hit more free throws, right? If you had committed one less foul or one last turnover that led to a fast break point, that would have also changed the trajectory of the game at the end as well. So even though that was a bad call, it's not the end-all be-all for that game, number one. Number two, Cade Cunningham, it was a game where he really didn't get off and score like he should have, like he was doing pretty much most of the game. He had like one game where he just kind of was like subpar. And so that kind of hurt him too. So, I mean, you got to think too, like, even though Detroit is coming, New York has a little bit more offensive firepower than them.
I mean, only because, injuries. I mean, the Pistons still ain't got, what's his name? Stewart? Is it Stewart? And the other boy?
He's a glue guy, but he's not like.
Yeah, but he's a body. He's a big body. He's a big body.
Like a 25-point scorer, though.
That ain't the point. That ain't the point. The problem, I mean, he's a big body. He's a bulldozer. He's a bruiser. That's the word I'm looking for. And he's going to tighten up, especially Mitchell Robinson, Cat doing all that shimmying when he got 2 left feet, so.
They're not getting their points. They're not getting their points, all their points from Isaiah Stewart. Like, you get him, like, he's a defensive player, but so is what is it, Jalen Duren? Like, he's a good
no. Durham is actually scoring too.
But he's a good defender though as well.
Yeah, we get that. Yeah, but come on, man. Once again, that's one. You asked him to score, be the cleanup man and defend, which is, I think that's where he really wants to be. But if you get Stewart, who can give you that tenacity, to that toughness, I'm telling you, man, they better be glad Stewart's out and the other boy. What's the other boy's name?
Jaden Ivey.
Right. They better be glad they ain't got him. So
he probably would have made more of an impact than Isaiah Stewart offensively. Like,
I ain't say offensively. No. I know that. I'm talking about, that bruiser, somebody that's gonna knock your butt on the ground.
But there's been a lot of that going on. Neither team has a competitive edge with just knocking each other over. Like, I mean, they call that, you know, you're allowed to play physical, but both teams are playing physical. It's not like one team is being punked than the other one. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't say physical all the way. Once again, it's officiating, man. I mean, it's, you know, last night Jalen Brunson gets the foul, and it wasn't even enough. I mean, it was a horrible call. So these officials got to all right, is it going to be physical or is it not going to be physical? Because, you know, if we're playing physicality, well, when somebody blow you on the head, for goodness sake, don't call the foul. But then when the man is literally pump faking, gets the man in the air for taking a 3-point shot, he hits his shoulder, and you don't call a foul saying, it wasn't. Like, come on, man. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, the biggest
got to be.
Another thing is the biggest. I'm looking at the scores and the stats, and another thing is like their starting five doesn't score enough in Detroit in their losses. And for example, Tobias Harris, he's a really good player. You know, he's been in the league for a long time. But in I think this was game 4, like he scored, or it was game 3. He scores 5 points, right? It's like, and then Amen Thompson 7. Now you have Hardaway Jr. 24, Jalen Duren 16, Cunningham 24. I was always told by Shaq, when you get in the playoffs, you have to up your scoring average. If it's 24, 25, it has to be at least 5 to 7 points more in the playoff. I don't even think, like that means so Kate Cunningham, even though he's good, it's like, bro, I need some of those games to be in the 30s or above. You know, not 24, 25, and 26. I at least counted 3 games where he scored.
But hold on, but is that fair to Cade? Cade been hooping. They need another scorer. The man can't go out there and get 40.
What I'm saying is that it's fair in the sense that he's good, right? So we could ask you in the playoffs, if you're scoring 24, 25 in the regular season, to score 30, at least in half the games. Like that's a good ask, because he's not a baby. He's had some injuries in the past, but he on the court, you know, he does it. This is what he does for a living. He's there. He's on that level. So it's the same thing. Now I'll say this. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been in the playoffs longer than him, but they're around the same age and around the same skill level. So in the same way that we would say, hey, Jaylen Brown, you got to go high 20s or 30 some game, at least half the games, I can make the same argument for Cade Cunningham.
Well, I mean, but you asking a lot from that man. You know, he's the point guard. He has to facilitate.
He's not the primary point guard. They have
don't say no Dennis Schroeder. He ain't no point guard, man. Come on, he's the primary.
Meaning in the NBA, it's not like everything is not like Steve Nash or Chris Paul, where one person keeps the ball the whole possession. You move the ball, you have different ball handlers. He's one of the ball handlers.
Did you just bring up Chris Paul and Steve Nash? Yeah, they were.
So when you say point guard, you say he has to be the point guard.
I mean, he has to be the facilitator. You won't, because
he has other guys.
Dennis Schroeder is not no doggone facilitator. He is a defender, and he wants to score. He's a scorer. Cade Cunningham is trying to be. I mean, he's trying to do the scoring load. But I do agree, he needs to facilitate. He needs to do both, because he has the talent to be like Steve Nash or a Chris Paul, but at 6'7", however tall he is. So, but right now, unfortunately, he don't have the pieces around him, so he can, actually do that and do it good.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we know that. That's why when I say that they're young, of course they don't have the pieces that they will have moving forward, and they will be a force to be reckoned with. But I'm just saying, is like in the first game that they won, he scored 36. He shot 24 attempts. I think it was 16 for 24 from the field. So it's like you got to get those shot attempts up if you're the main guy. If you're trying to play to win, you at least got to get over 20, 24, mid-20 shots and above. You can't, shoot. Okay, I'm only shooting 20 shots. I'm trying to because you're the best player. So that's the only. I mean, even as much as I rank on LeBron. Even LeBron, when those Dellavedova teams, he knew he had to get a certain amount of points to at least have his team to at least be in it.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm still believing. I still got faith in Detroit. I think they about to go back to Detroit. That crowd is going to be rough, and it's going to be hostile in there. And I just believe Detroit got I mean, did you hear that clip by Cade Cunningham? They asked him, do you think we can get it back to a game to New York? He say, I guarantee it. I love that confidence.
Right,
I love that confidence.
You might want to stay out of the media. You might want to stay out of the media with that.
I mean, no, I don't want to hear that because hey,
Bulletin board
Alonzo
material
Mourning,
right there.
Alonzo Mourning did it, and he said it to the great one. He said it to Michael. Remember that? I think they were down 3-2, or no, it was they were down 3-2, and he said, we said we coming back, we gonna win game 6, and they did. So I mean, they lost game 7.
Exactly. We know the rest.
I'm just saying. He said we coming back to New York. So I believe him. I really do think though, and honestly, if you look at the games, the Detroit, New York, they've been close. I mean, you cannot deny that. It's just that New York has scored when they needed to score. Detroit couldn't score when they needed to score. So I don't know, man. I really think now I'm gonna tell you this. The pressure, because this is game 6 coming up. The pressure ain't on. Well, I mean, I don't think the pressure's on Detroit because Detroit's that young, tenacious team, them dogs. They don't care. They ain't got nothing to lose. So I think they're gonna take care of business in game 6. And now all of the pressure is going to be on the New York Knicks. And we know how the Knicks handle pressure. That's right. If you are a Knicks fan, y'all remember that layup, Patrick Ewing, it probably still haunts him this day. All he had to do was make the layup and they would have beat the Bulls or whatnot, and they couldn't even do it. So
almost doesn't count, right?
Almost doesn't count. But I'm just saying the Knicks, when it comes to pressure moments, they always burst them pipes. So, hey, I still got Detroit in 7.
I think New York will take out the trash in the next game.
Wow. All right. Well, hey, if the officials ain't in their back pocket, then yeah. All right. Moving on. Houston, we have a problem. Now, I will say this. The Rockets have lost. They're down in the series 3-1. And tonight is a do or die situation for the Rockets. However, the Rockets are at home, but once again, all of these games have been played close, but the Rockets just can never find the points to complete the mission. Now, I know you are a Golden State, you're a bandwagon fan. That's what you really are, but I know you are a Golden State fan for the season because, hey, who's your team? Tell us who your team is. Who's your team?
My team is the Dallas Mavericks, but my boy Kyrie, he got hurt, so we're chilling. We're chilling until next season.
Yeah. So right now he's renting a Warrior. That's all. He's renting a Warrior.
I'm a basketball connoisseur. What can I say?
Right. So the Warriors are on the brink of beating the Houston Rockets, but I will say this, sir. What's the issue? What's the problem with Houston to you? And then I'll tell you my take on it. But what do you think some of the issue is with the Houston Rockets? Why they're down 3-1? Why they can't ever seem to get over that hump to win a game?
Because despite great coaching and great defense and great athleticism, they don't have a true number one that's going to give like Jalen Green, who's going to be consistent enough. At least, I mean, I'm sure the Rockets would take Cade Cunningham's 24, 25 and one game of 36 or whatever.
Absolutely.
They would take that in most of the games, at least score, but he's scoring like 7 and 5, and then one game he has 20, high 20s, and whatever. He's too inconsistent.
Well, he's playing himself out of there. He's playing himself out of Houston.
Yeah, he's playing himself out of there. And so I think ultimately they would need someone like him, and they would also need like a KD to kind of shore up their team. So, I mean, sometimes we've seen the Phoenix Suns, when they traded for KD, they were like, hey, we just need one more person. And then it always seems like the last 2 years, like they were missing one extra player to kind of solidify, like, what their unit. So I think with Houston, they're young, they're good, and they're scrappy and stuff, but they just can't score enough. And they don't have enough consistency with their number one.
I do agree. I think they do need a number one option. Jalen Green, he's goodness sake, he's just trash. I mean, you got so much potential, but you come out there, you got these black fingernails. I don't know what he got going on. And I mean, his attention needs to be on the game, not trying to look all cute, whatever, man. But anyways, I mean, yeah, that's unexcusable. 5.7 points. 20, what was it, 24, 25, and then you have 8 points. Like, dude, are you serious? You know, I really think, and then what is it, Alfred Şengün? How
He
you understand? He is just he's overrated. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's overrated. Absolutely.
I don't think he is. I think he's just young.
I don't want to hear nothing about no cotton picking young. Look at Luka Doncic. Look at Luka Doncic. Luka was young and he was giving people that business. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear Luka.
This man has to start from somewhere. He has to start from somewhere.
You are however tall he is. Look at that flat foot shot he got. Who is his coaching? First off, who is his shooting coaches that are working with him? He does this stupid old hook shot that completely missed, like the last shot he took. Why would you go to him for that last shot? He literally missed.
It was a high percentage shot, but Draymond, Draymond took his legs from under him, so he couldn't get
Draymond's old. Yeah, but listen, he literally missed his last 4 or 5 hook shots. And then when that one go all the way to the left, you know, you looking surprised. No, you need to put your head down, put your big body down, and attack little Draymond Green. You know, I don't understand why people are like they so afraid of Draymond Green. See,
I can agree with how you said he should attack. I can agree with that. But I would say no GM in the NBA is going to look at Alfred Şengün and say, oh, because he didn't score this way or because he had moments of growth, that we're just going to move on from him and just give up on him. Like, no GM is doing that.
No, I didn't say you move on from him.
Okay. Let's keep it to
I didn't say that. What you need to do, I say, why do you go to him? Don't go to him. Oh, yeah, he is trash.
What does that mean? Okay, what does that mean for the viewers now?
Well, what does that mean? Meaning he was trash that game.
Okay.
Let me clarify. Yeah, he was trash that game. Yeah. I mean, of course, he's young. He has a long way to go. And, you know, and these are learning moments. I get it. But, man, you in that moment, you're more, I mean, I will say he's more athletic than Draymond. Let's not forget that dunk he put on him in game 1. Oh, yeah. You know, so, you know, you're younger. So go at him, attack him. You got to put the pressure on the officials. This is what I'm saying. But you do that old hook, and like you say, Draymond, you know, he's a dirty player. He takes his legs out, whatever the situation is. Well, you know, you're going to play into the hands of Draymond Green. So I really,
you know what's crazy? His stat line. I know it's not all about stats because it matters when you show up, like you're saying.
Exactly.
But his stat line for his first postseason ever in 4 games, he's 22 and 11 on 40% shooting from 3. Like that's a good starting point. To be a young man.
Alfred Şengün.
Guess how old he is. Guess how old Şengün is.
I don't care.
He's 22 years old.
What do you mean? What do I mean? Once again, I told you, Luka came out that thing at 18, 19, giving grown men work. I don't want to hear nothing. There ain't no excuse. Shoot, Dirk Nowitzki, he was giving folks work at 22.
But he's been giving work.
He's
been playing well.
Listen, I understand. He got a long way to go. My point is, and then this is coaching. How about Udoka tell him, hey, man, I need you to lower your head and go at Draymond Green.
Now, I will agree with you on this. I will agree that if I was Ime Udoka, I would have, because in the last game, he had Alfred Şengün had 31 points, right? He was balling that game. But I would have went with one of my guards. I probably would have went with Van Fleet because Van Fleet hit some key shots down the stretch. So I would have designated something for him to at least get a jump shot off to where I don't have my center in Şengün going against a defensive player of the year candidate. Like he should have kind of thought that it was like, hey, I don't want to put him in that situation against Draymond. Like hate him or love him, we gotta respect Draymond on the defensive end, right? Yeah, so I probably would have got an ISO. I know they took Curry out the game, but I probably would have got an ISO against one of those guys and had Van Fleet to kind of ISO or come off something, a pin down or something, and then try to score on the move. That's probably what I would have done.
So you trying to say it was bad coaching? It was some bad coaching
in the last part of the game. I think so because Van Fleet brought them back in the game. He was hitting key shots on everybody. He was hitting.
Bro, listen,
like it was nuts.
Listen, I don't want to hear that.
What you mean?
Draymond Green had 5 fouls. You gotta put the pressure on him. Still,
the refs are not going to call. anything at the end of the game. So that's,
Well,
I
we
get
see that. Yeah, we
point.
see that. Look at that Detroit game. We see that. I'm glad you finally admit that. Listen, we got a comment from a commentator. He says, if going back to the Tyrese Haliburton, he said, if Haliburton's father was a white man, oh my, the media narrative would be that Giannis needs to control himself and he should be fined and suspended. I mean, I must say, hold on. I can't disagree with Mr. Mike Jones. I can't disagree because let's be honest. What kind of heat is what's his name taking in the NFL?
I don't think it's a race conversation because at the end of the day, the NBA rules and protocols are the NBA rules and protocols as far as that, which Tyrese Haliburton's dad did not adhere to. So I don't think this is a conversation for that card necessarily to be played because at the end of the day, they've thrown out, fans who were all different ethnicities, for crazy different things, so in the NBA, it's not really like that. It's not really like that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. He say let him headbutt a 60-year-old white man. I mean, that's true. That is true.
I think that the only way Mike's
hold on. Now, watch this. You said ain't really like that, but I look at what's his name, Ja Morant. The narrative. He doing his salute. He had to stop doing the gun, but everybody do that. Russell Westbrook did it about 5 times yesterday. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe because his dad is very involved, maybe people do look at him. Oh, they're not, professional enough. I mean, maybe he got a point. He could have a point, but we can't do this to coulda wouldas because, I mean, it is what it is. I do agree there are rules, but I kind of do agree with Mike. With as far as if it had been the opposite, I think Giannis would have got more, pushback on it. So I can't disagree with that. I actually do agree with that. So who you got tonight, Houston or the Warriors? And don't just use, because you want the Warriors to win. Let's use, wisdom here. Do you think the Rockets are going home tonight, or do you think they're gonna go home in Game 6?
Where's the game?
I don't have them going.
Where's the game at?
It's in Houston tonight.
Okay, I have them winning tonight because I think that they're gonna put up a fight and things like that. So I think that one of the reasons why they're gonna win is because Steve Kerr, his relationship with Jonathan Kuminga, I don't know what's going on. I don't, So he started him the game before.
He started him that second half of.
And then he didn't play at all the last game. So it's like if everybody's saying that if you want to win a championship, if that's your ultimate goal, you have to have strength in numbers. You can't overtax Jimmy Butler's body, even though he's doing good, right? This is only Jimmy Butler's playing this hard, and it's only the first round. Like you got a couple more rounds to go. Like
you don't have a couple more. You
got the next round of semifinals.
That's it. No. It ain't no. That's it. No. Put that third finger down. That's it. It's the Warriors, if they get past the Rockets, which I do think they will, they going home next round.
Hold on now.
Ain't no way y'all beat them. No way they beat them.
OKC will. You did not pick them to start.
I know that, but
thank you.
What did I tell you? I called you and I said, man, because we actually had a little friendly bet. I said, man, the bet off.
Tell them what happened with the bet now. What happened?
I'm going to tell you. I said, man, the bet off because I cannot with this officiating. The officiating was horrible, and these officials always make me mad.
He tapped out.
I didn't tap out. It was only 2-1. You better tell the whole truth.
He was suffering a lot of anguish and pain because that pick messed up, and then his poor old Lakers. Oh my God, he was.
We'll get to the Lakers next. That's the next segment. But let's deal with the Rockets. If the Warriors, if the Rockets get past if the Warriors get past the Rockets, I can assure you they are going home next round. There's no way they are going to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, especially with some of the points you just sat here and made. You sat here and say, Kerr, I don't know why he's not playing Kuminga. With strength in numbers, yeah, you're going to need Kuminga. You're going to need Martin Luther King. You're going to need everybody to come on that Warriors team and help them beat the OKC Thunder because OKC ain't playing around. And I just don't think we're talking about depth now. And like you just said, you got Jimmy Butler. He tailbone hurting. He is playing all he got. I just don't see that when you go against them dogs who got not just one, not two, not three, but they got multiple dogs.
I mean, I get it. I think that yes, Oklahoma City Thunder is favored to win. We all know that, right? But I would say the only challenges, given that they do win, the challenges that they may face are the defense of Golden State. Like Golden State's defense is very similar to Houston. They just knock each other out like the whole game, right? So OKC has not faced a team yet that plays with that physical mentality. So that may stifle their offense or shooting threes or different things like that, no matter who they play, whether it's the Rockets or Golden State. That's going to present some challenges for them. Of course, they're still expected to win. We know that. But they're going to have to play with force because whoever they're going to play in the next round is coming. And it's going to be – you're going to have to take some ice baths after those games. Sure.
Yeah, thunder. It's a thunder on the horizon. That's what's coming. But let's move on to you mentioned the Los Angeles Lakers. So the Lakers they have their game 6 or is it game 5? Yeah, game 5 tonight where they find themselves we find ourselves down.
Yes,
I bleed purple and gold, baby. I'm a true Laker fan. We find ourselves down 3-1. Once again, we had the chances to. This series could have went a different way. It is what it is. We've lost, but you know, the game 3, Luka clearly had food poisoning, whatever his issue was. If you've had food poisoning before, you know that ain't no joke.
What did he say? He said, "I did not eat the pizza." That's what he said.
You didn't eat the pizza, right? Like Michael Jordan. I don't know, but I mean, Michael's the only person I know who played with food poisoning some kind of way. You know, did great, but yeah, game 3 we lost. Game 4, the Lakers had the game in their taking, and then JJ Redick decided to leave the starters in the entire second half, and that's where we are now. What do you think about that? Do the Lakers have a JJ Redick problem, or is it just he's still young and learning how to coach playoffs?
I think they have a small problem with JJ Redick, and I don't necessarily want to rest on the laurels of like he's still learning because you have veteran coaches on your sideline that also co-coach and co-help you come up with game plans and things like that. It's not like to where it's a dictatorship in coaching and playoff coaching, especially when you have those guys on your staff. So I just think that JJ, like some other coaches, fall victim to, hey, if we can't win my way, then we're not going to win at all. And they kind of end up inadvertently sabotaging the growth of the team because, we rewind back to before the end of the regular season when they got Luka Doncic and then after the dust settled, they started winning games and they got to the second seed in the Western Conference. Everybody was talking about, oh yeah, Vanderbilt, oh he's back, he's doing great. Oh, Gabe Vincent, oh my gosh, he's back, he's playing like he did with the Miami Heat. And so to not reward those guys and have those guys because that's what role players are for. Role players are for, it might be one game during a series, 2 games during a series, or 3 games during a series where a role player may show up and may show out. And they might not do anything the rest of the games, and that's okay because they're not paid like the superstars. Right. So for him not to trust those guys, and at least you can't tell me Vanderbilt, as big and long and stocky as he just can't play any defense on Anthony Edwards or Alexander Walker.
Right.
That's not smart coaching. So I mean,
Jaden Daniels, I think he'd go good against him.
But he can switch. He can switch 1 through 5. That's the
right.
point. So the point is, you have a Swiss Army knife that can switch 1 through 5. He's been a defensive stopper. That's why you got him. And everybody has been raving about him coming back, and then you don't play him. That's a horrible way to go out.
I mean, I do agree. I do think JJ got to, but I mean, I still give him grace. You want to sit here and talk about Alfred's Sangroom, whatever his name is, giving him grace, Alpin from the Rockets, about giving him grace. Well, give JJ Redick grace. This is his first time coaching. The man is
no. He's coached 82 games in regular season.
Yeah, but this is the playoffs. You stop that. This is the playoffs. Things change in the playoffs.
And we can't go with that because, again, he has veteran coaches on his
Hold
staff.
on. No. We can go with that because first off, you sit here saying 82 games, but only about 40 of something was with Luka. So no, you can't say that. This is his first time.
No. We're talking about X's and O's. We're not talking about one player. We're talking about X's and O's.
Yeah, no, but that one player changes your X's and O's, and you know that. Your whole offense, you stop that, Isaiah. Your whole offense changes around LeBron James, who you got to have.
Actually, let me actually show you how you're wrong with that, because Luka and LeBron play the same essentially. So the same offense is basically like a read and react. You try to get a guy to help, and you kick or you go one-on-one. So their offense is pretty much the same. What they need in the playoffs is you need the ball moving from side to side, playing 5-man basketball, so that you can essentially be able to attack a team like almost like OKC. Okay, we all know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player, but the ball moves, so you can't just key on him. Even with Boston Celtics, all the best teams, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they all play that team style of basketball, which is missing sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes down the stretch with the Lakers. So let me name you real quick.
Yeah, you go ahead on.
The coaching staff of the Lakers. Nate McMillan coached 19 seasons as a head coach. Scott Brooks, former OKC coach, 12 seasons as a head coach. Yeah, so you have a lot of those key guys that are on the staff that have been head coaches. So you can't tell me that it's just JJ Redick like just doing whatever he has coaches that have input. He just has to has to listen, or B has to go watch film and try to kind of have some humble pie and relax and be like, hey, I need a team to win this thing. I got to be smart with LeBron's minutes. I got to be, kind of mix it up a little bit.
Listen, what I'm not going to let you do is slip your little way out of that fictitious statement you made saying that Luka Doncic and LeBron are the same. I'm trying to take, they're not the same type player. They don't have no similarities. So listen, we're going to kill that narrative.
Take your basketball card away right now.
No, listen, I'm going to prove
basketball card away.
I'm fixing to prove to you how they don't. First off, we're going to kill that narrative that Luka Doncic and LeBron.
Now, hold on. Before you do that, I'm prefacing now. I'm not talking about LeBron James when he first got in the league, when he was dunking and doing.
I'm talking about the LeBron James today.
No,
the 190-year-old LeBron James. That's who I'm talking about.
They play very much the same.
Right. First off, LeBron is still, even at his old age, he's built like a tank. A Ferrari engine. You see what I'm saying? When
go ahead.
LeBron, yeah. Hey, hate him or love him, he's still, when he goes to that basket, people get out the way. Luka, his transition game and LeBron's are two different ones. LeBron is more of a one fast man break. Yes, he reads the floor like a QB. Yes, he'll throw those passes, which is why he's criticized. Like, yo, why didn't you take the layup? Why didn't you take this instead of dishing it out? That's what LeBron does. But what does Luka do? Luka, of course, he can attack too, but Luka usually he kind of slows his attack down, which we see that little slow because usually he'll pass it out, which makes him even more dangerous. So when you're coaching, you got to understand, JJ Redick, first time coaching for the first 60, well, I would say, what is it, 50 something games in the season.
We can't see you. I can't see you.
Oh, hold on, my camera went out again, but you can hear me. That's all right. You hear me.
That's so for the first, your camera went. It's kind of like what happened with the Lakers offense.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Hey, for the first however many games of the season, JJ had a style, and let's not forget he also had Anthony Davis, that pick and roll. Now you lose Anthony Davis, so come on, man, you've been a little biased.
Okay, so let me bring it down to you, because I do agree there are some subtle differences in their game, of course, but I'm talking about the bulk of it. They both have great court vision, so they like to assist, right? They pass the ball, whatever. Yep. They can, pretty much, get, even though they may score, like Luka likes a little step back. LeBron kind of has a little outside shot a little bit too, mid-range, kind of as well, just like Luka or whatever. I'm talking about the bulk of their game. Yes, LeBron is a lot more athletic. Yes, they kind of finish a little bit differently because Luka is a European, so he's going to use the Euro step a little bit, of course, and pass out. And I get that. But the bulk of their game, as far as when I said playing style, the bulk of it is basically the same. Almost like when people say LeBron is closer to Magic Not exactly like Magic, but closer to Magic than Jordan. They're talking about the playing style. Does that mean that they're 100% across the board, even on identical? No,
absolutely not. But once again, if you had Magic Johnson and you're swapping Magic for LeBron or LeBron for Magic, I'm talking about all in their prime, your gameplay don't have to change. Your style don't have to change. But you literally just took LeBron, who is a drive down the lane. He wants to attack. But now you get Luka Doncic, who masterfully likes to drag the defense in with him, which is why he slows the game down. So now you have to, from a coaching perspective, you now have to change the way you coach to around this man. So, I mean, all I'm saying is I think we need to give JJ a little grace. That's all I'm saying. Let's give him grace. Okay, he made a mistake. Now watch this. All them good coaches you just named, with all that experience, why didn't one of them take, hey, you need to sit LeBron. You need to sit.
Here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, as an assistant, you have a suggestion, but it's the head coach's job to either take it or leave it. And so again, it's not like necessary. That's why it goes to him, because I'm sure those coaches were like, we probably whatever, because that's just naturally like, again, what JJ Redick did. No coach in NBA history ever did that, to where they played the starters the whole second half or whatever the stat was. So That's for a reason. So it goes on him, because you have to listen to your coaching staff, and then you also have to play the long game sometimes. Because sometimes when you have stars like Curry, they may take a little rest, and the game they may be down by 6 points, but they know me resting him is gonna give him energy to really go off and close the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look. Do you think this series is over?
Oh, man.
Now, let me tell you something. Dwight Howard made a post. He said, if LeBron James can come back from this, there's no more debate that he's the GOAT. Now,
but no, I would say
disagree with that statement.
I would say we can't make that, because this is the first round. Like, Dwight, stop it. This is the first round. This is not the NBA Finals again. Or if this was the NBA Finals, sure. Like, okay, yeah. But my heart says the series isn't over, but my head says, from what I've been seeing in my eyes, that the series is a wrap. But because it's weird, because when I watch Minnesota play, it's hard nosed, but it's boring. It is.
They are boring.
Besides Anthony Edwards dunking on somebody, it's kind of like, monotonous a little bit, just kind of whatever. So, I mean, in some way, because even the game they won, the last two games, you figured that the Lakers were just going to take off and just turn on the Jets on them. And then they just walked them down. And I'm like what in the world? And it's kind of like, it's almost like the Lakers are running out of gas, because they're not like their big guns aren't, resting properly, or maybe they don't have enough contributions from their bench. So, I mean, you know what I would do? I know they wouldn't do this. What I would do a coaching change. I would do a lineup change. And the reason why is because the Lakers, y'all don't have anything off y'all's bench. So what I would do is I would put Austin Reeves just for this series.
Put him on the bench.
Put him off the bench.
Yeah, I put him on the bench.
And then I would put Dylan. What's his name? Gabe Vincent. I would have him to start.
Exactly. Let me tell you something, man. Moving forward, when we win, because we gonna win this series.
Oh God.
Absolutely, that's right. We gonna win this series.
And we gonna win this series.
And when we win this series, I'd put Austin Reeves on the bench starting off, because first off, the reason why I know we're gonna win this series, because some of the points you just made, seriously. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they're good, but they're not that good. And the Lakers are the better team if they're utilized properly. Now, we know the two better players are Luka Doncic, and LeBron's old, but still, even LeBron is still, not too far behind Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is just young, so he's obviously going to be better. He's younger, more athletic, but let's not act like that's far off, the hill. So the better players are on the Lakers. And the reason why I think that the Lakers will win. Now, if you asked me this last season, before Luka Doncic, I'm telling you it's over. LeBron James ain't going to do nothing. But now we got Luka the Don. Oh, yeah, we got the Dawn. And I just believe that Luka Doncic is going to wield this team because this is what I said. Lakers winning tonight. Oh, I put every dollar I got on that. Lakers winning tonight. There's no way Lakers finna go home in LA. That ain't happening. But now, when you beat the Wolves tonight, guess what? The pressure goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota, which the Lakers can win there. It's not like Minnesota's home court is like a Denver or OKC, you know what I'm saying, a home court that actually feel like there's another man on the court. So I don't know if them young Bucks, how is what's his name? Anthony Edwards. How will he handle that pressure? Because we've seen what happened last year when he went up against the Dallas Mavericks, your team, with that boy Luka the Dawn. And we've seen how the pressure.
Luka the Dawn hasn't been Luka the Dawn. Like, it hasn't really paid off. So we can't keep.
Yeah, but not yet. Game 3, the man was sick. Game 4, he actually came out hooping. I'm telling you, the Dawn is gonna work. So now and then, bro, it get to a game 7. Oh man, you got LA.
Luka had like 36 or 37, I believe.
Right, Luka did good. Right, no, Luka was hooping. That's what I'm saying. But hold on. In game 3, he only had 16 or 17. I told you. Now, what if Luka wouldn't have been sick? I know if, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but if Luka wouldn't have been sick, bro, we would have won game 3 because we lost by like 8 or 10. Luka would have had 30. That cancel that out, cancel that right there. So my point is, if I'm the Lakers, you're winning tonight. Duh. But you want to, now the pressure's going to be on Minnesota. Because Minnesota, if they lose game 6, oh yeah, I definitely got the Lakers winning game 7. Absolutely. It's back home in LA. You know, the referees and Luka's going to attack. LeBron, I would hope he attacks, you know, be the bully he can be. I just think the Lakers will win game 7. Now, I got more faith in the Lakers winning in game 7 coming back than I do them doggone Rockets.
I mean,
Rockets done.
My thing is that the Lakers, they need a lineup change. And if he's smart, if JJ Redick is smart, he's gonna start put Austin Reeves on the bench, come off the bench, and then you at least start like Vanderbilt, probably Finney Smith or Gabe Vincent, or whatever. And kind of because you need more. He said they're going home tonight.
Hey, you're right. They're going home. They in LA. That's right. They home. That's right. They home.
Yeah. So you got to have one of those guys to come off the bench. I mean, because your bench scoring they only has 6 points off their bench.
I do agree. No, I do agree. They need to play.
It's not gonna work like that.
No, I do agree. Listen, I think JJ Redick, he's going to play his bench more, particularly Gabe Vincent. Look, you know, I was very hard on Gabe Vincent at the beginning of this year. I'm like, man, you trash. You ain't doing nothing. But man, I don't know what happened at mid-season. That's the Gabe Vincent of Miami, and you gotta let him play.
So let me tell the audience my theory on Gabe Vincent of why he went from like super suspect to like back how he was playing in Miami. This is my theory. My theory is like before they traded for Luka, right? He was hurt, and then after they got Luka, then he was that good, right? Right. A lot of times in trades, when people don't want to give up their, good assets that can help their team, they will be like, okay, well, hey, wink, wink, take as much time as you need with that injury you got. Because a lot of teams, they don't want damaged players.
I believe the Warriors did that.
A lot of teams, they don't want damaged players. So they're going to be like, even with the Lakers, when y'all could have got the other center guy, I still would have took him. Even if he had the injury, I still would have took him.
Oh, Williams, absolutely.
They didn't want to take him. Absolutely. So I think what happened was that last year he was hurt, but I think early in the season he was trying to get his bearings back under him. And then when he kind of did, they were like, hey, wink, wink, like get injured and stay injured until we get Luka. And so they were able to keep him to kind of, create depth. But it doesn't make sense to do that, but then not play him. Like, but only the last game, 13 minutes. Like, come on. Like that's not, you have to have faith and trust in your guys. Like, and then right. Two, you got to understand, like, if you watch him play in Miami, he wasn't just catch and shoot. He also handled the ball a little bit. He was one of the ball handlers. So that's why I talk about 5-man basketball. Like, you got to let everybody else be able to contribute a little bit. When it comes to handling the ball, like Luka can't just hold the ball, like you said, and just dribble, and everybody just stand with their hands ready to shoot. Like, it got to be some movement. Like, move the ball. If it's late in the shot clock, of course you can ISO and do that, but you can't be doing that if it's 24 seconds on the shot clock and you're just catching it and holding it like Luka, and you're there for 5 to 7 seconds, like holding the ball. Like that's just, it's not an equal opportunity offense.
I mean, I hear you. But that's, look, like I told you, this isn't the Lakers final team. So we're playing with house money. The Lakers are playing with house money. So Floyd Magwood, you sit here saying the Lakers going home tonight. You just a LeBron James hater. I am a Laker fan. Okay, Lakers.
If the Lakers lose, this will be a failure for a season.
I mean,
it
won't. No, it's not.
This season only. Because the expectations were were at least the top.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Contender when they got Luka. No, when y'all start winning and you got the second place in the West, everybody was saying the Lakers are contenders. Everybody was saying
listen. Because there was no other team other than the OKC Thunder that everybody like, hey, we can see you going to the finals. Stop that. No. You stop that. Because I don't care. I ain't dumb. I'm not Boo-Boo the Clown. I'm not dumb. I know darn well, no matter how good the Luka plan or if LeBron can turn back the hands of time, you ain't beating them Boston Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers. And
we give participation trophies for LeBron for making the NBA Finals, right? So it would be no difference. Oh my gosh, he's 40 years old and he got back to the finals. Like everybody, all of LeBron minions would be like, hey, it's amazing, wow. So I mean, they were expected to at least contend. That I'm not saying win, but contend as contenders. So if you get put out in the first round, I can see if they lose in the Western Conference Finals. If they lose in the Western Conference Finals, God bless them. Great season, right? But the first round.
Oh, listen, first off, we ain't losing first round. We're not losing first round. That ain't happening first off. But let's deal with it once again. But if we did, it still ain't a failure. But you know why?
This season it is.
It's not a failure. No, it's not. For LeBron James, it is. He the one playing in his 193rd year. So, but Luka.
Okay. I can agree with you on that.
Yeah, Luka the dog.
Divide it and say Lakers, but again, or LeBron, I can agree with that. But when I say failure for this season, I'm saying for both of them because it's only for this season. It's not. I'm not saying like your future is doomed because you didn't win a championship this year.
Hold on. Yeah, but no, it is for a LeBron James who we don't know how long he got. But Luka, who's young, I mean, we got a 10-year window with him. My point is, after this season, you're gonna see a Laker team that's built and designed around Luka Doncic. Let me ask you this question. You see, because last year this time, we had old Darvin Ham, which I still am glad we got rid of him. But going into the offseason, they fired Darvin Ham, and now whose name started coming up? His old boy from Connecticut, then old boy from JJ Redick. Now, whose pick was JJ Redick? LeBron James. We know this. But now, if you could fast forward to now, let's say Darvin Ham got fired, after this season. Do you think JJ Redick would get that coaching position? Absolutely not. Because now the organization is going around Luka Doncic. Who's going to be the best for Luka Doncic? Now, I believe in JJ Redick. I'm not sitting here going down him. But what I'm saying is, my point is the hold that LeBron James had on the Laker organization after this season, that ain't no more. I ain't even going to say that. After the moment we got Luka Doncic, that stopped. And in a way, I'm glad. Because now LeBron's going to realize, hey, it ain't all about you no more, which Pelinka should have been did that a few years ago, But now, that's what I'm saying. The offseason, we're going to get team or players that benefit Luka Doncic. The Lakers aren't a great defensive team. Okay, they had spurts of playing great defense, but come on, man. They have no inside presence. LeBron's playing center, which, in all fairness, ain't fair to him. So, but next season, when you get them pieces, that's why, to your point, I agree. We should have got Williams. What have to hurt you?
Talk about those pieces now. I'm still curious to know who wants to come to LA in the first place. Number one.
What? What you
saying? Because the Lakers always, besides Luka, they always get these like glue guys that are not like. They're not even Darius Garland level, right?
Hold on, man.
They're like,
hold on. I gotta stop that blasphemy. Hold on. We got to stop that. How you gonna sit here and say who wants to come to LA? This ain't Dallas. If it was Dallas, yeah, you might have a point. But LA, la la land. First off, who don't want to play with Luka Doncic? If you are a scorer or a shooter or a lobber, you want to play with Luka Doncic. You know who Luka Doncic remind me of? He remind me of a vintage young Chris Paul. Everybody wanted to play with Chris Paul, yes, because you know Chris Paul's gonna get you that lob. He's yes, he's
because
gonna
they
attack.
had the same problem in Dallas. They couldn't get players to play. They had to get young players or Kyrie. You know, in his situation,
Dallas, my brother.
No one wanted to play like no one was flocking to go play with Luka.
Stop. This is Dallas. That's like trying to compare a Bugatti to a doggone Ford Pinto. You cannot do that.
Doesn't matter. No one was like, oh my gosh, I want to play with Luka. Like there was nobody like that. Like I'm not saying now that doesn't mean that he's not a good player. Of course he's a good player, but that's a different thing. Those are two different things.
Listen, man, you're hurt. I see it. You know what?
I'm hurt.
Get some help. You need to get some help.
It's not like you're hurt and you're gonna be hurt.
No.
You might be hurt tonight after the game, but we can't find you.
Listen, you are a sour Dallas Maverick fan, and your boy Nico has got y'all upset. I get it. But come on, man, don't sit here and say nobody want to come to LA
tonight. If y'all lose, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be like, hey,
we gonna win. Hey, listen,
I need to take this like a man. I need you to take this like a man tonight. If y'all,
I am.
If y'all
we gonna win. We gonna win. I ain't worried about it. And you know what? I'm gonna send you a meme. I'm just gonna Luka the Don. That's all I'm gonna send you. You know that Luka Doncic meme. I'm gonna send it to you, and I'm gonna say, hey,
I'm gonna send you the Michael Jordan crying meme.
Listen, man, but no, all jokes aside, I just believe that the Lakers people are going to flock. The only issue with that is, you know, the second apron and all this garbage they got that's preventing people from, and that's LeBron James' fault, you know, while we got all this, but it's preventing people from teaming up, so to say. But I do believe the Lakers, people are going to want to come. First off, it's LA. I mean, come on, man. God, I want LA want to go back. It's LA. I mean, it's LA. So I just think
like
that
old school, man. That's like,
I mean, it's still LA, bro. It's still LA. It's La La Land. It's still LA. Hey, look, it ain't like you going to play with LeBron. No, they're selling. Look, I guarantee you, Pelinka, he's not selling LeBron. He's selling Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? So I just believe, you know, young player coming up. Hey, maybe we can get somebody like a Jalen Green. I don't know how that could work, but I think somebody like that would play better with a Luka Doncic, where you don't have to be the man. You sit on that perimeter, shoot that thing. You know, we get a big. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Pieces like that. Although I know Jalen Green's probably going to be used in that Kevin Durant swap because he done played his way. Unless he come back and play like the second coming of Kobe Bryant, I think his days are numbered in Houston. Yeah, his days are definitely numbered in Houston. So, yeah, but yeah, man, Lakers take care of business tonight. Hey, it's going 7. It's going 7. Absolutely. So real quick, because I know we got to go. Our time is up. So who you got? Real quick. The Denver Nuggets lost or won against the Clippers. Do you think this is going to be an issue, or you think Clippers just, you know, kind of like, we'll get them next game and force a game 7? What do you think?
Honestly, I went back and forth with this, and I think if we can get the Jamal Murray that they got last night, then Denver should win. Because and here's why I say that. Kawhi is playing fantastic, but James Harden is not special like he used to be. Like James Harden is still a good player.
Yeah, he's over.
He's not your second best player on a championship team anymore. He's your third best player. So for them to win, Norman Powell would have to step up and give you like high 20s, almost 30 points, but to balance out the scoring or whatever. To me, whenever you have a player that can go nuclear like Jamal Murray, almost like he did in the bubble, and you have Jokic that does what he does, and then you have Aaron Gordon, who, okay, like his shot is starting to go in, his three-point shot and whatever, and he's athletic, and he's going to give you something, and MPJ sometimes. I mean, that's more offense that you're getting, you know, from the Clippers. So I would have to go. I would say this is leaning towards Denver winning the series.
I just can't, man. You depending on Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is like Haley's Comet. Comes around once every 70 years. You really think he's gonna score another 40 points? I just don't. I mean, even you, you've been saying this for the past 6 months. Oh boy, Jamal Murray done lost it. Ever since back to the Olympics, he was trash in the Olympics. He was trash the whole season. So he have one game where he scored 40 points, and now everybody, oh, he's back. I just don't buy it. I
have said that, but looking at this series and how he's trending, it looks like he got his mojo back. The Monstars gave his powers back to him from Space Jam. One game. So he's drinking the secret stuff. Like he's good. Like
one game. I have to give it to James Harden. You know, he usually he hides in the playoffs. James, that was his first game. It was bad. He's been consistent. So I believe James Harden will be consistent. Kawhi Leonard didn't play great at all. I believe Kawhi Leonard is going to play a lot better at home. This is definitely going 7. And I believe the Clippers they're still going to pull it off in 7. Hey, listen, we're going to have a lot of 7. We're going to have a lot of 7 upsetters. I'm telling you now. You're going to say Rod was right. That you get it? Rod was right. I sent you that picture. Rod was right. We're going to have a lot of those.
I hope you have that same enthusiasm if y'all lose tonight.
That's all right. I ain't worried about that. We gonna win. I ain't worried about that. Lakers winning tonight. I got the Clippers coming. You know, I don't like the Clippers, man. That's another LA team, but I just believe they're the better team. You know, let's not forget it took a doggone lucky shot. I mean, by literally the skin of your teeth, Aaron Gordon to even get that lead. So
that's what I say. You gotta put away a team, or you can't get them life because they're supposed to win 2 games. The series should be over by now. They should have won 3-1.
That is true. I do agree. No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you mean the Clippers?
Yeah,
the Clippers should have
won. They should have won at least 4-1. They should have won 2 other games.
I agree. But hey, it is what it is. But this is why I have the Clippers still beating them. I think the Clippers are the better team. Look, you think Russell Westbrook gonna score what he did? 18, 19 points. That man ain't had 19 points in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he had one good game.
You're gonna have to get off my dog now. He ain't been consistent, but he
at all. He ain't been consistent at all. So I just think that the Clippers got a better chance of coming back out of all of those teams that we even mentioned. Clippers, then the Lakers, and then Detroit. I'm telling you, Detroit gonna come back and beat them boys. I'm telling you, they're coming back and beat them. They're gonna beat them.
I don't know.
Hey man, let us know in the comment section who y'all got tonight. Do you have the Lakers winning tonight? Do you have the Warriors closing out the deal, beating the Rockets, or do you see this going 6 games and or possibly 7? Man, let us know in the comment section. Look, so that's our time, man. Look, this is our first episode. I don't think it went too bad. I mean, you know, your computer died.
I know, right?
You know, I'm still, I'm trying to learn because I obviously operate another channel, so I got some stuff here I got to manipulate and move around. But I think it was okay for a little pilot episode. I got that. It was good.
All right too.
So hey, y'all. So we'll be back in here again. I'm gonna get with his schedule, but I'll definitely be on here. Hey, that's what we talking about, sports. So who knows? Come in here tomorrow or something. I can laugh at him and say, I told you I was right. Lakers won. So, all right, y'all. So I'm out of here, man. Once again, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share it. All right. So we'll holler at you, Isaiah. I appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate you having me, bro.
Stay by your phone because it's coming. Rod was right.